Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into one of the biggest, most frustrating questions in all of human history. But we're going to deconstruct it using a really powerful set of analogies based on governance physics, and hopefully turn a philosophical headache into a practical guide for how you live your life. So, let's just kick things off with the big one. Do you really have free will? I mean, for centuries, this has been the source of endless debate. But you know what? A lot of that frustration comes from asking the wrong question, because it's based on a completely faulty premise.
See, here's the thing. Most of us are operating under this myth that free will means we're the grocery store manager, that we should be able to pick literally any ingredient in the universe. And when we find out we can't, we get frustrated. But the reality, from a governance perspective, is that you're more like a MasterChef contestant. Your real power isn't in choosing the ingredients you're given. It's in the recipe you invent with them.
So here's our game plan for this explainer. We're going to start by really tearing down that old myth and replacing it with the MasterChef reality. Then we'll use three distinct analogies, the mystery basket, the team project, and the video game, to build up a totally new understanding layer by layer. And finally, we'll bring it all together in what we call the Stewart model.
Okay, let's really get into this. The grocery store manager myth, it's the idea that you should have total control over every single aspect of your life. Your genes, how much money you have, even the laws of physics. And this mindset, well, it's a direct path to being miserable, because you're focusing on things that are fundamentally, completely outside of your control.
Now, here's the crucial refrain. This is the big shift. In the MasterChef reality, your true power, your actual free will, it lies in the choices you make with all the unchosen stuff in your life. It's about shifting your energy from complaining about what you were given to focusing on what you can create. Our first analogy, the mystery basket, is all about your individual circumstances. We can actually model this with a simple but really powerful idea from governance physics called the kitchen protocol. Now, it looks like an equation. Essence equals utility times decision squared. Don't worry, it's simple. Utility is just what you're given, your ingredients. Decision is what you do with them, and essence is the amazing outcome you create. Let's break that down. First up is U for utility. But really, just think of this as your capacity or the raw ingredients of your life. It's the hand you were dealt, your genetics, the environment you grew up in, the family you were born into. These are the things you absolutely do not choose. So to make this super concrete, just imagine a judge on a cooking show hands you a mystery basket, and inside, one turnip, a can of Spam, and a broken knife. This is your you. You cannot will that turnip into becoming a Wagyu steak. These are your fixed constraints, period.
Okay, now for D. D stands for decision. This is the chef. This is you. It represents your free will, your effort, your creativity. It is the meaningful choice you make with those ingredients you were given. And notice how it's squared in the equation? That's because your decision has this outsized exponential impact on the final outcome. It's the most important part.
And this just brilliantly illustrates the two paths you can take. With a low D, bad governance, you just complain about the turnip and you make nothing. You starve. But with a high D, with good governance, you apply creativity, you get to work, and you produce something amazing. The ingredients are exactly the same. Your decision is what multiplies the result, for better or for worse.
So the huge takeaway from this first analogy is this: real agency, real power. It comes from shifting your focus away from the circumstances you can't change to the actions you absolutely can take.
All right, let's move on to our next analogy and see how this idea builds out. We're zooming out from just your individual life to your social reality with the Unchosen Team project. And we can understand this using an idea called network health from governance engineering. Now, the formula might look a little complex, but the idea is actually really simple. It's all about the quality of your connections with other people. Think about it. In life, you're constantly thrown into these group projects with people you didn't pick, right? This is your given network, your social us. You can't just will away your family, or your boss, or that person who just cuts you off in traffic. That's the constraint. But here's your choice. Here's where free will comes in. You can add noise to that network through conflict, complaining, and gossip. Or you can strengthen the connection through patience, cooperation, and support. The people might be the constraint, but your contribution to the health of that network is 100% within your control. This quote just nails it. It perfectly captures the essence of social free will.
You may not be able to change the other people in the room, that's the hardware, but you have total control over the quality of the signal you're broadcasting to them.
So for our final analogy, we're zooming out even further, to the universal laws we all operate under. We'll call this mastering the video game, and we'll explore it through an idea called the theory of quantum governance. Now, I know that sounds complicated, but trust me, the core concept is dead simple. The reality you experience isn't raw reality, it's reality seen through your own mental filter.
Just think of reality as a video game. And this game has a set, unchangeable code. Gravity exists, walls are solid. This is the fundamental programming of the simulation. You cannot break these rules no matter how hard you try.
Your free will? It's the controller in your hands. You have a limited set of buttons, actions you can take within the game's physics. You can jump, you can duck, you can speak. The choice isn't about rewriting the code, it's about mastering the controls you have and learning exactly when to press jump to clear that obstacle.
The goal of the game is not to become a game designer. It's to become a master player. True agency is about achieving excellence within the established rules of the game.
Okay, so now let's bring all three of these analogies, the chef, the teammate, and the gamer, together into one single coherent model for agency, the steward.
This table just lays out the stark contrast between the two mindsets. The owner mindset casts you as a passive victim, always focused on the ingredients you can't change, always asking, why is this happening to me? And the only result is frustration. But the steward is an active agent, focused on the recipe, asking, what can I do with this? The result is essence, real created value.
You can really see this as a simple three-step process. First, the system provides the input, your you, the circumstance. Second, you, your consciousness. You provide the throughput, your D, the decision. And third, the outcome of that whole interaction is E, the essence, the value that gets created and becomes a permanent record of your choices.
And this brings us to the ultimate takeaway, the most powerful way to think about this. You are not the owner of the restaurant, you are the head chef of the shift. This mindset puts the responsibility exactly where it belongs, not on the ingredients you were given, but on the quality of the meal you choose to create.
So we'll end by turning this question back to you. Because free will isn't some abstract debate, it's a daily practice of stewardship. The real question isn't whether or not you have it. The only question that truly matters is, given the unique mystery basket of your life, what will you create?